What is up, everybody? Your boy Disaster back here at DizzazzterPiece Theater. Yes, we are back and we are ready to do some new things with the channel. So I'm basically going to just continue to do what I was doing before, which was trying to make the news funny, because the news is so dark and bleak and horrible that it's hard for people to watch it and still, get something from it without also feeling terrible about themselves. So I think what I was trying to do was just make the news more palatable. Make it so that you can watch it and still learn something from it, but at the same time kind of get, a joke out of it or get something other than bad feelings from it. So let's go ahead and check out some stories that I picked up and get this DizzazzterPiece theater train rolling again. So there's a new infection that is drug resistant that has come across our worldview. It's called Candida auris, and basically what it is like spores, and they get everywhere. They had a man that came in for a bowel obstruction and he needed to, just have some things removed. He died 90 days later. When they checked out the hospital room that he stayed in, literally spores of this stuff was on everything. They had to use special cleaning agents and, basically, they should just burn the hospital now. That's what should have happened, because this stuff got everywhere. They're really afraid because the infection is resistant to most of the drugs that we have to fight infectious diseases. So the CDC is like, oh my God, we need to do something quickly. This actually reminds me of a Stephen King movie called Creepshow, where Stephen King himself plays a kind of stupid, ranch farmer hand or something, and a meteor falls down from the sky. He pours the juice out of it, picks it up, and I guess he goes to try to sell it or whatnot, and he finds out that all this, green grass and, weird space plant life is just growing on his hands, and pretty much it takes over his entire house, his land, everything, this weird space fungus. And at the end of the movie, he ends up killing himself because this stuff is taking over his body. It's growing inside of him, outside of him. That is what this is like. This is a terrifying thing right now that if you didn't know about, you probably should check out. I'm going to put some links in the description. You can check this out. We may be in trouble. I'm saying fire. I mean, fire cleanses all. See a homeless man and, he needs 50 cents and you don't have it? Fire. He doesn't need 50 cents anymore. No, that's terrible. I would never throw fire on a homeless man. That's a waste of fire. So in San Francisco, there's been a man who has been living a little bit a ways away from Mark Zuckerberg's house. And what he does is he goes in Mark Zuckerberg's trash and other rich people's trash, takes the things that they are throwing away in hopes of reselling them to make more money, to feed his family and feed himself. Listen, I've always said this. If you don't have a fantastic life and it's easy for you to go to a richer neighborhood, and rich people throw out stuff. They throw it out at a much faster rate than normal people do with normal things. Such as, oh, this cabinet's got a scratch on it. I don't want a cabinet with a scratch on it. So I'll take this whole perfectly usable cabinet and throw it out and buy a new one. Whereas a person of my stature, it ain't even looking like a cabinet anymore. It looks like a litter box for a cat. Whereas it started off as a cabinet, but we still keep closing it. See, that's how it works. When you don't have a lot of money, you use what you have until it is almost unusable. And then you throw it away because nobody else would want to use that unless there's somebody in a position that's way worse than you and just they have to have it. At that point, I would just give it to them. I mean, be charitable. But there's more opportunity for you to make a living being homeless here in America. There have been studies where sometimes a homeless person is making more money than a guy working 9 to 5. How does that work? Maybe I should just stop doing this and start panhandling so I can make money, because I'd be better at it, because I suck. I feel like a lot of times, people do good works for people. I'm sure Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and all these people give their money to charity to help people. It's people who live closest to us and we don't even see that truly need help. And sometimes because you're that mogul or that guy, you can't just go out and help everybody. You're busy doing stuff. So I totally get that. Sometimes life is hard. Sometimes it's really hard. But you got to press on. You got to keep going. You got to do what you can do to make sure that you move up. Seriously. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to move up. I'm hitting that elevator button. And I've been waiting for a long time. The Avengers stars just took a new trip to Disney, California so that they could ride the new Avengers ride. It looks like a whole bunch of fun. Apparently, we can't ride this ride just yet, but we will be able to eventually if you go to California. It's not going to be anywhere else. But they look like they had a lot of fun, and I think the reason they did that is to kind of promote the ride, promote Avengers, and at the same time show that the people who are playing in these movies are actual real people and not just some robots that play characters. Another reason they did this is because they were giving a crap ton of money to charity. So whenever, people do stuff good for charity, they get rewarded in smaller ways, but I think really it touches them inside. And that's why they do charity. I love charity myself. I try to give as much as I can, when I can, to charity. And I don't want to be a liar about it. I'm not the guy who's out here like Mr. Beast or, any one of these huge YouTubers like PewDiePie or Jacksepticeye or Markiplier who do all these kind of things for charity. I'd love to be that person. Eventually I will be that person. I already know. But right now I can't. And that really hurts because me personally, I always try to be the kind of guy that helps people. And anything I do, I'm always trying to help people. And even this is like trying to help people. I'm trying to inform you of the news and also kind of give you some yuck, some little funny here and there. And the underlying thing of that is I'm just trying to be helpful. I'm just trying to be a real person and honest and genuine with you guys. And I feel like people should work harder to give more to charity because there are a lot of people who need help in this world. I grew up messed up, I didn't have a mom and dad around, and, there's a lot of things that I missed out in my life, and trying to help other people experience and help other kids so that they don't have to go through those things. And I feel like that's very important. So it's great to see that celebrities are grounded and still have the gumption to help other people instead of just themselves, which is usually the MO of success. You get successful, you make money, you keep it to yourself. You take care of yourself and your family. So we all know that Nipsey Hussle was killed a little bit ago. And we have here Joyner Lucas, one of my new favorite up-and-coming artists, saying that the guy who was killed Nipsey Hussle was trying to get a feature on an album with Joyner Lucas. How messed up would that have been if Joyner actually did that feature, or if he was even thinking about it or speculating about it? That'd have been crazy. The guy who killed Nipsey Hussle on a song with you. Oh man, that would be nuts. But thankfully it never happened, and we don't know the full story about what happened with Nipsey Hussle. We just know that he was shot. They do have the guy incarcerated. He's looking at facing murder. It's just terrible when us as black people, and here I just want to say something straight too. Us as black people are 13% of the country, so it's not a lot of us. The reason we look at our rap stars and the black people who do certain things in the community who aren't looked at as as big as rap stars and things of that nature, because the people we see doing stuff or living the kind of lives that we want to live are our rap stars and our basketball stars and our singers and musicians and things of that nature, which kind of pigeonholes us and doesn't allow us the opportunity to reach outside of that to be successful, when in actuality we have every opportunity that everyone else has. Look at Obama, look at any other successful black person, but those people don't get looked at as, well, Obama does, but most black people don't get looked at as people of influential stature, unless they're selling drugs, playing basketball, or singing songs, or rapping, which is very sad. And considering that a majority of black people are in jail, just adds to the sadness factor of who we determine to value as people of interest in our community. But again, this being 2019, us being black people, we do have a lot more opportunities that we have now that we didn't have, 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 40, however many years you want to go back. Things are different. Things have changed. And I believe that it has offered us the opportunity to advance, to move forward. If we can put silly things like racism behind, and when I say put it behind, I mean, let's say a white guy calls you the N-word. So what? It's just a word. I've heard little white kids call other little white kids the N-word. How does the N-word still have power? How does it should literally be just a word like jelly now, or pancakes, or why are these all food? Honda, or Toyota, or anime, or April, or laughing, it's just a word at this point. Now I understand that it has connotations from way back, but a majority of us who are in existence today, we never had to deal with that word being used in the sense of either you get back to work or we'll kill you. We never had to deal with it on that level. So really what we're dealing with is history. And what you're saying to me as a fellow black person is that you can't get over history? You should be above that. You should be stronger than that. So what they don't want to give us reparations? So what they don't want to give us our due? So what we aren't going to be treated fairly as people? So what? Live above your problems. When you do that, you become something better, greater. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. So the new virtual reality that's coming out is going to be full body, so that all your senses can be tantalized instead of just your ocular senses. They're coming out with new ones where it's going to have like a smell-o-vision, basically. And they're also coming out with full body tech, which will allow you to basically feel things in the world. I don't know how it's going to work. It's going to be really, really weird, but I am very interested in checking it out just to see what kind of differences they've made when it comes to VR. I've had the PlayStation VR. I've wanted to get an Oculus Rift or a HTC Vive, which will soon happen, but I just wanted to kind of experience the new wave of what's coming, what's happening. I mean, this is literally the next generation of gaming. When you can walk into a game full body and everything that you do is translated into the game, and you're feeling and acting and it works, it will be the greatest thing in existence. Because not only are you playing the game, you are the game. And that is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait for that. Can't wait for the porn that's going to come out. We're a couple clicks away from just plugging our brains right into a computer and just playing games with our mentality. Just looking around, robbing people in GTA 13. And lastly, I want to talk to you guys about the new Joker movie. I cannot wait for this movie. I am so excited. I am so happy that DC has finally, after all of this time, started making good movies. The last 2 DC movies that I saw were fantastic. I could not believe how good they were. And I'm talking about the Justice League versus the Fatal 5, the animated movie that just came out. Oh, so good. Literally, I'm not an anime watcher. Literally a contender for one of the best animated flicks I've seen ever. Beautiful. The story, the animation, the characters, everything, the world that they live in. They even went the extra step of putting in things that you would notice if you were a DC fan that your average person wouldn't know. They would just see it, oh yeah, whatever. You just have to watch this movie. It's fantastic. And then the next movie after that was Aquaman. What? Aquaman. Aquaman. There isn't a time in my lifetime that you could have told me that Aquaman would have been in the movie and it would have been a great movie and I would have loved it with everything that I have. It has happened. Yes, Aquaman. The movie is stupid good. Seriously, I thought it was gonna be cheesy with the way that he through the water. He kind of just like arches his back and points his chest out and just. I thought it was gonna be silly. It works out. It's very good. It's not cheesy. It's dark like DC likes to bring it. It's everything that you would think that a good movie should be. Everything, and it's fantastic. I feel like if you haven't seen Aquaman, then you're not gonna be ready for the quality of Joker. This movie is gonna come out, and I'm telling you, it is going to be phenomenal. You know why? Not just because DC has been doing its homework and getting better at manipulating its characters in movies, but it's the Joker, the #1 villain across every platform. Marvel, DC, you name it. People who don't even read comic books know about the Joker. So this has the potential to be the biggest movie of all time. Second of all, they've been taking their cues from Marvel and developing their characters instead of developing stories. And when you do that, a story arises out of development. You don't have to have your character arise out of the story. Okay? So DC has changed its MO when it comes to creating their characters in these movies now, and they are good. Number 3, Joaquin Phoenix. Okay? This guy, Joaquin Phoenix, is, I don't want to say he's a crazy person, because that'd be just like somebody saying, Disaster, you're a crazy person. And they'd be 100% right. But what I'm saying is that this dude is a little awkward. If I want to be generous and fair, it's a little awkward. But in the sense of taking his awkwardness and placing it inside of Joker's psychotic episodes that he has, I mean, it's a perfect marriage. Here's what we know as of Joker. We see Joker do something crazy. We see Joker do something crazy. We see Joker do something crazy. And that's all we see. What Joaquin Phoenix is going to basically do is weave the lines in between the crazy stuff that we see of Joker. So it's almost like he's putting the spackle to the wall to make it all cohesive so that it doesn't fall apart. That is what's going to happen. We're going to be able to see the evolution of a crazy person, Joaquin Phoenix, into the Joker in real life. Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker in real life. I'm surprised that after 6 months of this movie premiering, he's not just going to start killing people. And I'd be okay with that, man. Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker. Let him blow up that hospital full of crippled children. I don't care. It's the Joker. I think they've done a really good job of casting Joaquin Phoenix, and I think this movie is going to be fantastic. If it's not, another miss. But, you know, it's good to know that DC still has fans waiting in the wings for them to come across as good producers of good content. So that's going to end our show today. Thank you so much for coming by, guys. I'm Disaster. This has been DizzazzterPiece Theater. Hopefully you like and subscribe. What you see here, we're trying hard to keep you guys entertained with the good stuff. You know, I'm digging deep into the barrel to get the good stuff for you. Oh, it's in there. So make sure you guys come back, like and subscribe. I will see you again with another video very soon. Have a good one. Peace.